Welcome to Brainwaves and Breakthroughs.
Hey there, all you pet lovers out there, and welcome to another deep dive.
Have you ever looked at your pet, just snoozing in a sunbeam
Yeah,
and wondered, what's really going on in that free little head?
yeah, definitely.
Today, we are cracking the code on the secret lives of our beloved animals.
Okay.
We've got articles, scientific studies,
Oh, wow.
even some personal anecdotes
Cool.
to uncover what our pets get up to when we're not around.
Sounds interesting.
Get ready for some surprises,
Okay.
because what we found is way more exciting than just naps and snacks.
You know, it's amazing what we're learning about the inner lives of animals.
Yeah.
All this stuff, the studies, the articles, people's stories, it's pointing to one thing. Our pets are way more complex than we give them credit for.
Really?
So we're talking more than just basic instincts.
Absolutely.
It's time to ditch that old idea that pets are just furry robots operating on autopilot.
Okay, I'm with you.
We've all seen those classic pictures, like the cat curled up in a sunbeam, the dog sprawled out on the rug, lost in a world of naps and snacks.
Yeah.
But you're telling me there's a whole lot more going on beneath the surface.
Exactly.
One article on fear and anxiety in pets uses this term sentient beings. I think that's so important.
Sentient beings.
I mean, not just robots programmed to eat and sleep,
Yeah.
but creatures with actual feelings.
Yes.
Sentience means they're aware of their surroundings, they experience emotions,
Okay.
they form bonds, attachments.
It's about recognizing them as individuals with their own thoughts and experiences.
Wow, so we're not just talking about basic survival instincts here. We're
Yeah.
talking about actual feelings, thoughts,
Yeah.
maybe even dreams.
Absolutely.
And speaking of dreams, one of the sources mentions that dogs dream.
Really?
Imagine your pup chasing squirrels in their sleep.
Oh, that's so cute.
Okay, so our pets are more than just furry robots
Right.
programmed to eat and sleep.
But what are they actually doing all day?
Well,
That depends on the pet.
okay, good point.
Let's get specific.
Okay.
What about dogs?
This article on dog behavior is fascinating. It talks about how much time dogs spend just waiting for their owners to come home.
Really?
They just sit there waiting for us.
Yes. They'll sit by the window watching for you
Oh.
or curl up on your clothes,
Oh.
holding onto your scent.
That's so sweet. Not all dogs are angels, right?
Of course not.
This article also mentions that some might get into a little mischief while we're gone, chewing on shoes.
Yeah. They have energy and natural instincts that need outlets.
Yeah.
This is where enrichment comes in.
Okay.
Another source emphasizes providing activities that stimulate their minds and bodies,
Right.
like puzzle feeders or interactive toys.
Yeah.
It's not just about keeping them occupied.
Okay.
It's about meeting their psychological needs.
So it's not enough to just give our dogs a comfy place to sleep.
Yeah.
We need to make sure they're mentally stimulated too.
Right.
What does that mean, meeting their psychological needs?
It means giving them opportunities
Okay.
to engage in behaviors that are natural for them.
Okay.
For example, dogs were bred to work alongside humans,
Right.
so they need activities that challenge their minds and bodies. Things like puzzle feeders,
Okay.
interactive games, even a good long walk where they can sniff and explore.
Yeah.
These are all forms of enrichment.
So it's more than just wearing them out physically.
Yes.
It's about giving them something to think about.
Exactly.
A tired dog is a good dog,
Uh-huh.
but a mentally stimulated dog is an even better dog.
Oh.
And a happy dog.
That makes a lot of sense.
What about cats?
Yeah.
They seem to have a knack for entertaining themselves.
You're right, cats are definitely more independent,
Yeah.
but they still need enrichment.
Okay.
One article describes cats as self-sufficient creatures
Yeah.
with a knack for keeping themselves entertained.
It also mentions that they're expert bird watchers.
That's true.
They look like they're just napping on the windowsill,
Right.
but they're actually taking in a whole world. Their senses are much sharper than ours,
Yeah.
and their hearing,
Oh, it's credible.
I read that they can hear sounds we can't even detect,
Yep.
like a mouse scurrying behind the wall.
Exactly.
Wow.
That heightened awareness, combined with their sense of smell and their ability to see in low light, it lets them experience the world in a way we can only imagine.
So even though they look like they're just lounging around,
Yeah.
their senses are working overtime,
Yeah.
taking in all sorts of details that we miss.
Precisely.
It's a reminder that their world is so much richer and more complex.
Yeah.
And it reinforces the idea that they need opportunities to use those senses.
Okay, so it's clear our pets are more than just furry lumps of love.
Right.
They're actively experiencing their world,
Yes.
even when we're not around.
But something that really blew my mind is the level of intelligence in some animals.
Oh, yeah.
Like this study about cockatoos.
Oh, this is the one about their problem-solving skills, right?
Exactly.
This study was groundbreaking
Yeah.
for understanding avian intelligence.
It describes this experiment where these cockatoos were presented with a nut
Okay.
hidden behind a paper membrane, and they were given 2 tools.
A pointy stick and a flexible straw.
Wow.
And the researchers found that the birds were able to figure out which tool to use for each step.
Wow.
So the stick to pierce the membrane, the straw to retrieve the nut.
But get this.
They also carried both tools with them when they knew they need them.
Whoa. So they were thinking ahead.
Yeah. It's like they were planning their strategy.
That's incredible. So we've got cockatoos solving multi-step problems.
Makes you wonder how other animals stack up.
Yeah.
What about dogs?
Well, we found a study that compared dogs and pigs
Okay.
in terms of problem solving.
And the results were pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Pigs are definitely intelligent,
But dogs seem to have an advantage when it comes to problem solving.
especially in tasks that involve interacting with humans.
It seems that pigs aren't quite as skilled at reading human cues.
Oh, interesting.
So dogs have actually evolved to be better at communicating with us.
Exactly.
In the study, they put food out of reach.
Okay.
And the dogs were much better at getting their owners to help.
Oh.
They used their eyes, their tails, even their barks to get their needs met.
It's like they've learned to speak our language.
Yeah.
At least on some level.
And that ability to communicate makes them incredibly good at solving problems in a human environment.
Exactly.
So it's not just about how smart an animal is, but how they use their intelligence to interact with the world and with us.
Okay, so we've learned a lot about what our pets do when we're not around.
Yeah.
And even how their brains work.
It's fascinating.
But what does this all mean for us as pet owners?
If we think about everything we've talked about,
Yeah.
it really highlights the importance of enrichment for our pets.
Enrichment.
So it's not just about giving them food and water
Right.
and a comfy place to sleep.
It's about providing opportunities for them to express their natural instincts, to engage in behaviors
Okay.
that are mentally and physically stimulating.
Can you give me an example?
Sure.
Yeah.
Dogs, for instance,
Yeah.
were bred to work alongside humans.
Right.
So they need activities that challenge them, both mentally and physically.
Okay.
Things like puzzle feeders, interactive games,
Okay.
even a good long walk
Right.
where they can sniff and explore.
So those are all forms of enrichment for dogs.
Exactly.
What about for cats?
Cats are natural hunters.
Right.
So they need outlets for those instincts.
Okay.
Climbing structures, scratching posts, toys that mimic prey. All these things help them tap into their natural behaviors
Okay.
and stay mentally sharp.
They also need plenty of vertical space.
Vertical space.
Yeah, places to climb and perch.
Oh, like up high?
Exactly.
Yeah.
In the wild, they'd spend a lot of time up in trees.
That's true.
So it's not just about physical activity for cats.
No.
It's about mental stimulation, too.
Exactly.
It's about keeping their minds and bodies engaged
That's
so
good
they
effort.
can really thrive.
That makes a lot of sense.
But how do we know what kind of enrichment our specific pet needs?
That's a great question.
And it brings us to a really important point.
Okay.
Enrichment isn't a one-size-fits-all approach.
Right, because every pet is different.
Every pet is an individual with their own needs and preferences.
So it's like being a detective,
Yeah.
trying to unlock the secrets to their happiness.
I love that analogy.
And the more we understand their secret lives, the better we can create enriching environments for them.
That cater to their physical and emotional well-being.
So we've gone from thinking about our pets as furry little roommates
Yeah.
to realizing they're complex beings with rich inner lives
They have feelings, dreams,
Yeah.
intelligence.
and a whole lot of love to give.
And by understanding their needs
Right.
and providing opportunities for enrichment.
We can not only enhance their lives,
Okay.
but also deepen the bond we share with them.
And that's the heart of this deep dive, Ram.
Absolutely.
Understanding our pets more deeply so we can give them the best lives possible.
Well said.
Okay, well, on that note,
I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive into the secret lives of our pets.
we've covered a lot today.
From debunking the myth that pets operate solely on instinct
Right.
to exploring the fascinating world of animal intelligence
Uh-huh.
and the importance of enrichment.
We've seen how they spend their days waiting for us, entertaining themselves.
Even solving problems in ways that rival some primates.
It really is incredible.
It's been a fascinating journey.
And I hope our listeners have gained a new appreciation for their animal companions.
Me too.
So, dear listener,
here's something to think about.
Right?
Now that you know a bit more about what your pet does all day.
And how much is going on in that clever little head of theirs.
Oh, what will you do differently?
That's a good question.
Will you try a new puzzle feeder?
Or invest in a climbing structure.
Ooh, yeah.
For your cat.
Or
You'll just spend a little more time observing their behavior. Trying to understand their unique personality.
Maybe you'll switch up your walking route.
Or give them a new toy to play with.
Or maybe you'll just give them an extra cuddle. Knowing that there's so much more than just a furry roommate.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless.
I think the most important thing is that we take what we've learned and use it to create happier, healthier, and more enriching lives.
For our pets.
Because at the end of the day,
that's what it's all about.
Right.
Celebrating the bond we share with our animal companions.
Beautifully said.
And on that note,
we'll say goodbye for now.
Until next time, fellow pet enthusiasts.
Keep exploring, keep learning.
Hey, keep those tails wagging.